Just a few generations ago, women were largely confined to roles as homemakers and caretakers. But over the last century, a revolution unfolded. Women began to rise, demanding the right to vote, to work, to lead, and to choose their own paths. Education levels soared, career opportunities opened, financial independence became a new reality for millions of women worldwide. It was a moment of triumph. By the early 2000s, the image of the modern woman was no longer someone who stayed home. She was now ambitious, powerful, educated, well-dressed, and constantly improving. She was expected to balance a successful career, maintain a flawless appearance, travel the world, build a relationship, and maybe even raise children, all without breaking a sweat. Magazines, movies, and more recently, social media platforms began promoting this image endlessly. The modern woman was no longer just free. She was expected to have it all and do it all. Feminism in its second and third waves encouraged women to break free from traditional gender roles, but in doing so, it also quietly introduced a new kind of pressure: perfection. At first glance, this evolution seems like progress, and in many ways, it truly is. More women are graduating college than men in several countries. More are entering politics, science, tech, and leadership. But beneath the surface of this success story lies an important question. Is the modern woman truly happier than her predecessors? The answer is not as simple as it seems. While women today have more opportunities than ever, they're also facing unprecedented levels of anxiety, burnout, and confusion about their roles in relationships, work, and life in general. In chasing empowerment, have we created a new trap, one that looks like freedom but feels like pressure? To understand this paradox, we must look deeper, because what we call progress may actually be masking something else, a growing gap between expectation and reality. In the age of social media, perception is everything, and perfection is the product. Scroll through any modern woman's feed, and you'll likely see curated snapshots of success: luxury vacations, elegant outfits, flawless selfies, romantic dates, and morning routines that seem more cinematic than real. But behind these carefully chosen images lies a deeper issue, one that's affecting millions of women around the world. Social media doesn't just reflect reality, it distorts it. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok have become digital stages for performance. Influencers sell a lifestyle that's aspirational, but often unattainable. Filters smooth out flaws. Captions polish life's messiness into bite-sized quotes about empowerment. And for the average woman watching, the message becomes internalized. Why doesn't my life look like that? This constant comparison creates a silent competition, not just about beauty or style, but about who's living the most empowered life. Am I working hard enough? Am I traveling enough? Is my relationship as exciting as hers? The pressure is relentless. Ironically, in a world where women are told they can be anything, many now feel they're not enough, not successful enough, not beautiful enough, not independent enough. What used to be simple milestones, finishing school, starting a family, building a stable life, have now been replaced with a new set of goals: personal branding, follower counts, and soft life aesthetics. Even rest and leisure have become something to perform, but perhaps the most damaging illusion is the one about happiness. Social media teaches that fulfillment comes from external achievements and public validation. Yet the more we chase these, the emptier we often feel inside. The gap between reality and what we see online is growing, and so is the emotional cost. As modern women strive to live up to a fantasy crafted by filters and algorithms, many find themselves overwhelmed, anxious, and quietly wondering if they're falling behind in a race that isn't even real. The delusion doesn't always come from arrogance. Sometimes it comes from chasing an image that was never meant to reflect real life in the first place. Modern dating has never been more accessible, and yet never more confusing. With endless options on dating apps, open discussions about gender equality, and a culture that encourages personal freedom, you'd think relationships today would be thriving. But they're not. In fact, both men and women are reporting record levels of dissatisfaction and disconnection in the dating world. Why? Because while women have changed rapidly in the last few decades, expectations around men, and especially what women want from them, have become increasingly unclear. Somewhere along the line, the traditional roles were questioned, but never fully replaced with something workable for both sides. Many modern women believe they should never need a man, emotionally, financially, or socially. Independence is power. And yet, studies show most women still desire long-term relationships with men who are successful, confident, emotionally stable, and taller, wealthier, or more dominant in some way. This creates a subtle contradiction. I don't need a man, but I still want the best one. Men, on the other hand, are receiving mixed messages. They're told to be strong, but also emotionally vulnerable, to lead but not control, to be ambitious, but never too dominant. In this confusing landscape, many men are quietly withdrawing, feeling unwanted, unappreciated, or unsure how to meet modern expectations. And so we have a standoff. Women who believe men are falling short, and men who feel rejected or misunderstood. Worse still, social media and pop culture continue to fuel this divide. Men are labeled toxic for traditional behaviors. Women are praised for leveling up, but are sometimes unknowingly creating standards that very few men can meet. Add to this the rise of hypergamy, the subconscious desire to date up, and suddenly the dating pool feels smaller than ever for high-achieving women. The more successful they become, the fewer men they perceive as suitable partners. This isn't about blaming one side, it's about recognizing that the dynamic has shifted, and not in a way that serves real connection. Until both men and women can understand and appreciate each other's evolving roles, modern relationships will continue to suffer. Delusion, in this case, isn't just about self-image. It's about misunderstanding what we truly want and what the opposite sex is actually willing to give. More women than ever are earning degrees, building careers, and gaining independence. And yet, beneath this success story lies a surprising statistic. Modern women are reporting lower levels of happiness than in previous generations. How is that possible? This is what researchers call the happiness paradox. Despite more choices, freedom, and social progress, many women feel more anxious, unfulfilled, and lost. A 2009 study by economists Betsy Stevenson and Justin Wolfers titled "The Paradox of Declining Female Happiness" found that while women's life circumstances have improved dramatically, their self-reported happiness has declined across all age groups and across several countries. One reason? The pressure to have it all. The modern woman is expected to juggle a career, a relationship, physical health, mental health, financial goals, friendships, hobbies, and, if she chooses, motherhood. And she's expected to do it all gracefully. But reality doesn't work like that. Time is limited, energy is finite, and something always gives. Social media compounds this pressure. It doesn't just show what's possible, it showcases what's expected. You're not just working hard, you need to love what you do. You're not just raising kids, you're supposed to thrive while doing it. Rest becomes self-care content. Success must look effortless. Any sign of struggle feels like failure. And for many women, the deeper they dive into this high-performance lifestyle, the more disconnected they feel from themselves, from others, and from any sense of real fulfillment. There's also the silent epidemic of loneliness. With marriage rates declining and long-term relationships becoming harder to navigate, many women find themselves professionally successful but emotionally isolated. They've built the life they were told would make them happy, yet something is missing. This isn't to say ambition is wrong or that progress is a mistake. Far from it. But when success becomes the only metric for worth, it creates a dangerous trap, one that leaves no room for vulnerability, rest, or simply being human. The truth is, empowerment without emotional balance doesn't lead to happiness, it leads to burnout. And without meaningful relationships and purpose, even the most successful life can feel painfully empty. So where do we go from here? The truth is, the modern woman is not weak. She's powerful, educated, capable, but she's also overwhelmed. Not because she's failing, but because she's been sold an impossible ideal. Be everything to everyone at all times. It's time for a reset, not a return to the past, but a shift toward realism over delusion. Real empowerment isn't about becoming perfect. It's about becoming whole. That means accepting that we can't have everything all at once without cost, that it's okay to prioritize relationships without being called regressive, that choosing family over career or career over family is a personal decision, not a moral statement. Modern women need space to be honest, to say, I'm tired, I feel lonely, or I don't know if I even want what I've been chasing. There is strength in self-awareness. There is freedom in rejecting false expectations. It also means rethinking relationships, not through the lens of competition, but collaboration. Men are not the enemy. Neither are other women. We're all trying to navigate a world that changed faster than our values could keep up with. To move forward, we must return to truth. Real beauty isn't flawless. It's authentic. Real success isn't performative. It's personal. Real fulfillment doesn't come from external applause. It comes from internal peace. That might mean unfollowing influencers who make you feel inadequate. It might mean letting go of career goals that don't excite you anymore. It might mean embracing love, softness, and connection, even if society tells you to stay strong. And most of all, it means letting go of the idea that worth is something you have to prove. The modern woman doesn't need to be fixed. She needs to be heard. She needs space to redefine her values on her own terms, because in the end, the only thing more exhausting than chasing perfection is pretending it ever existed.